Hello and welcome to today's crossword solve, this time from The Independent, which is a British newspaper publication. This crossword is number 11209 by Rodriguez. I don't often do independent cryptic crosswords, but I do from time to time, and Rodriguez often has a fairly good reputation for deviousness, so I'm hoping this will be good fun. Okay, let's start then. So one across. Crook in e.g. Kent, fearing Bill's reappearance. Bill's reappearance could be some sort of reference to an ad, like a billboard, or it could be a parliamentary reference where you have a discussion of a bill that has a phrase second reading. How does that work? Second reading. Con is crook, as in confidence trickster. SE, oh dear. SE is southeast of England, where the county of Kent is located, which is a bit loose. And dreading, the rest of the word play, is fearing. And if you put all that together, you get second reading. 7 down. Dope. That is one encouraging wishful thinking. Interestingly enough, I'm sure we had dope in one of the Guardian crosswords the other day, but given the starting letter, dope can mean gen or information. That is, in Latin, is abbreviated to IE. Id est. And I suppose genie does encourage wishful thinking. You get granted 3 wishes. Going across. Small scale return of Sex and the City. Well, I mean, Sex and the City was some dreadful American television series from the 90s or early 2000s, I seem to remember. Never watched it. But I think it actually here, Sex and the City is the wordplay we're meant to be using, and return of sex. Yeah, I mean, again, you see it so many times. It for sex, reversed or returned is TI. And city, I mean, so many of them, but again, crossword minds sort of run towards NY for New York, and small scale is tiny. Whoops. Six down. Travelling Europe and football club complain. Football club is always Inter, as in, I don't know, I know nothing about football. Inter Milan, is that a football club? But anyway, Inter is the first part of that. And there's a verb. If you complain, you can be said to be railing. So if you rail, you are complaining. And travel in Europe, in terms of what you can in public transport, it's interrail. 5 down. Parent with head lowered, getting tot up. So what we're being asked to do here is take a word and move the beginning letter down a notch to make a different word. And I think that if you top something up, you add it together. And I think our parent here is dad, and if you move the D down, you get add. For king heading off, sycophants, queen's helpers say. King could be the letter K as in chess notation. It could also be R for Rex, which is Latin for king. Sycophants. Sycophants, there's a word for sycophants that we're missing here, and I think the whole definition here is queen's helpers say. Presumably say is an indication by example. Oh yes, a toady. Toadies are sycophants. If you take the T off, so heading off sycophants, take the T off and stick R for Rex, you will get roadies. And actually the definition here isn't queen's helpers as in royal servants, which you might think of. It's actually those people who are on the road with the band queen, who might help set up equipment and that sort of thing. That's a nice bit of misdirection. 15 seconds needed after most of dessert course. Seconds needed. Course must be the definition. Dessert is the wordplay. Seconds needed could just be the letter S, which we already have. I once spent a summer working in a godforsaken factory that produced desserts for a high-end supermarket chain here in the UK, and one of the things that we used to produce is fruit syllabub. And I think if we took syllabub and took the last letter, I think syllabus with the second S on the end. So this seconds gives us a course. Squeal in nude tipsily in the dark. So tipsily is an anagram indicator. I suspect we have the letters of nude in here. But we're probably looking for another word that means squeal. I think I've seen this before. Squeal, rat, they're all synonyms for somebody who informs. So somebody who's in the dark could be uninformed, as in they're lacking that information. The editor for this is odd compared to the Guardian. It seems to skip the letters, which doesn't help if you're rubbish at typing like I am. 3 down. Opera contains English character and German aria. I don't speak any German, but I'm pretty certain that and in German is und. Our definition here is aria. Opera contains English character and German. I think that wants to be Nessendorma. Oh, ESS is an English character written out, I suppose. And Norma was an opera by Bellini. Oh, nice. That's done it again, dear oh dear. So let's go back over the ESS for English character. We've got Norma, which is the Bellini opera, and we've got Und, which is German for and. H across, 2 monkeys and bear. Show off. Okay, so bear can be stand, as in, you know, if you tolerate something, you grin and bear it. If you bear something, you know, you stand it. 2 monkeys. Oh, right. So in British slang, a single monkey is £500. 2 of them, therefore, would be £1,000, and that also can be said to be a grand, and to grandstand is to show off. Two down, originally French account manager in London. So an account of something in French is compte, C-O-N-T-E. And I'm guessing that that's possibly the surname of a manager for some kind of sports group in London, whether it's football or cricket or something, but my knowledge of football is non-existent. Turn across. Concerned with voguish frame of reference. Concerned with 2-2 is interesting. Oh, in the legal profession you can have in re, which is sort of vaguely Latin for something like in the manner of, or in the matter of, which you sometimes see on documents and that sort of thing. Oh, 1 down. Reduction of personnel in decline over long period. This is one of those pieced together clues where every single bit is part of wordplay. Reduction of personnel. Oh, shrinkage is a reduction. A long period at the end is an age. Personnel is it's an old term now. Companies try and jazz up the phrase HR for people or something else, but human resources is the sort of personnel department, as was. So yes, if you sink, which is the beginning S here, INK, sink is a decline. 13 across. What drug smuggler did heartlessly is foul. How might you describe what smugglers do? Oh, well, foul is rancid, and I suppose an extra A in there is ran acid. Where heartlessly here is saying get rid of the middle letter. So if you imagine ran acid, removing the extra A, you'd get rancid. I have seen this clue before, such as manage police department, you know, it's foul or goes off or whatever, for literally ran CID as in manage the criminal investigation department. But this is a slightly better take on essentially the same kind of idea. 17 across, calls for soldiers to get bundles of sheets. Soldiers can be GI, but more likely in this case, given the letters, is RE for Royal Engineers. And calls for is the definition then, because I seem to remember in the back of my mind a quire, that's QUIRE, is an amount of paper. I couldn't tell you how many sheets of paper, but I think it's less than a ream or something like that, but it fits anyway. "19 across, dances on screen bringing forth English cake." Sorry, Danes on screen, not dances. Oh, well, I thought that. Danes on screen. Okay, a bit of general knowledge here. I think there is an actress somewhere in, I don't know, America called Claire Danes, and if you stick if you put the E at the beginning of the word, you can make eclair, which is a cake, not, as I originally thought, an English cake. That's a nice clue. 12 down. It could deceive in case voice male stifles hum. I wonder, I think hum, we're supposed to be thinking of humming as a sound, but it can also mean a smell, typically abbreviated to BO for body odour. I think the first half of this clue is the word false. Right, a male voice, or a voice, I suppose, in general is a falsetto, very sort of high, shrill, plus an M for male, plus BO for body odour. I think we can make false bottom, and the definition is it could deceive in case. So if you imagine a briefcase or something like that where there's a secret compartment, you often see it in spy films, and a false bottom in the suitcase is such a place where you could hide something. Ugh. 14 down. Ball wanting latitude to relax. Is this ideal for Bojo? Well, Bojo is what we typically call or refer to Boris Johnson as. A bore spelt like that is somebody who is rude or doesn't have particularly good manners. A little bit of general political knowledge is required here. ideal for Bojo could actually be someone who he thinks highly of, and I'm pretty certain I can recall Boris Johnson comparing himself to Churchill. So why is it Churchill? Churl is another word for boar. And wanting latitude, it's an ambiguous term, that wanting, because it can mean both needing and needing in the sense that it's required, or wanting as in it's no longer there, if you're left wanting. And if you take the L away, and I believe Chambers Dictionary will actually give the letter L as a legal abbreviation for latitude, and then take that out and stick the word chill, which is a very slang term for relax, and you can indeed make Churchill. That's a very tough clue, actually. I think it wants to be, it was 20 across. Bird biting horse and wild dog, which is risky. I wonder if it's the letters of dog, as in wild being the anagram indicator. Touch and go. Touch and go is risky. It can mean risky. Touch and go. Toucan is a bird. An H can actually stand for horse, but not as an abbreviation for the animal, but actually because I believe horse is another word, slang word I think, for heroin, the drug. Let's go back over that. Toucan with an H and then dog anagramized. Yeah, that fits. 18 down. Teacher. Around end of year needing a cocktail. So probably the name of a cocktail. Sidecar. Sidecar is a cocktail which I think is cognac and Grand Marnier or something like that. Why is it sidecar? It's sidecar because Sir is a teacher. At least that's what I used to have to call male teachers at school, which is around, the outside of. Sorry, if I actually type this out properly, it would help. So we've got Sir, which is around the outside of. End of year is December, abbreviated. Needing a, which is where the A comes from. Okay, 21 down. A little creep, unworthily about to tell the truth. A little unworthily about. I wonder if this is an instruction for what I would call a reverse in bed. 3, 2, yes it is. So about to tell the truth, so I think the definition here is to tell the truth. And we're sort of being led in by there being a little, as in inside of, a reversal for about, and if you look in the letters of the clue you can see own up. If you confess, you do indeed tell the truth in that sense. 23, not a fan of conservationists visiting a capital. capital. Oh, it's A1 for capital, and NT, National Trust, is the conservationists. National Trust are, I think they're a charity here in the UK that own a lot of nice stately homes and land and properties that the public can go and visit for a small fee. 24 across reporter, one aboard the tube first is a keyboard warrior. Wants to be hacktivist. Hacktivist. Hack is a slang term for a newspaper reporter. TV is the tube. So again, we know what's on the tube, slang for television, due to the technology that used to make up televisions before we had all these fancy flat screen televisions. And then first is IST, or 1ST if you think about it in those terms. 25. Description of Anna, Eve, Bob, Otto, Viv and Carol. Plain dim, unfortunately. Good grief. Now, I suspect it's an anagram of something like Carol, plain dim. Unfortunately, well, unfortunately is an anagram indicator. But I do notice something in common with the words Anna, Eve, Bob, Otto, Viv. They are all palindromes. So we are looking for a word that fits that description, and I suspect it's something like palindromical, which is indeed an anagram of Carol Plain Dim. Very nice clue. Whoops. I really don't like the Independent Crossword editor thing here. It's horrible. 22 down. Henry turning up, eggs on Charlie to create chaos. That must be havoc, because the letter H can stand for Henry, because Henry is a unit of measurement. I think it's an electrical measurement. And eggs are over, OVA in the biological sense. And C can stand for Charlie, which again is a slang reference for drugs. 16 down. All-inclusive college has 30% leaving with advanced Latin. So I think what we're looking for here is a word for college where 30% of it is removed. And that's replaced with the letter A for advanced and probably L for Latin. So I think we can probably do that and be quite safe. And I think that if the definition is all-inclusive, then another term for college can be university, and 30% of that is, well, presumably then the letters ITY being replaced with AL for universal. And then 22, rogue back in Oxford, say. Oh yes, okay. If someone is said to be a bit of a heel, they're despicable. And also, in terms of being part of a shoe, Oxford is indeed a type of shoe. And you do find heels on shoes. So let's put that in. I missed one. Asian ruler, losing head, in erasing China must be Han or Han, and presumably that's the letter K missing for Khan. 100%, nice. It thinks I did that in 9 minutes. It could very well be right. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. But anyway, all done and dusted. Well, that was jolly good fun, I thought, by Rodriguez. And the cluing style, at least compared to The Guardian, is a little different, but certainly no less fun. Very, very good indeed. So hats off to Rodriguez. Thanks, everyone.